Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Welcome to Beema's Crafty Corner. I am Beema, better known as Els, and we are working on a little golden book right now. So let's see. Anything else that we need to talk about before we do that? I don't think so. Okay, let's see. All right. Let me get this phone plugged in. Otherwise, I'll be out of battery shortly. All right. Okay. So, as I said, we are working on a little golden book. And let me grab this real quick. This is the link to a playlist on how to basically gut and build a little golden book. Okay, it tells you how to take the staples out, how to get the signatures out, how to reinforce your spine and open that up, so you end up with about 1 1/4 inch spine. And then it tells you how to prep your pages and how to take care of these so that you can keep them so that the story is in place, you know, and that the story is legitimately going through the entire book. We are working on the first signature. You do end up with usually 2 signatures from a little golden book. Very rarely do you get 3. It's usually 2, but they're pretty easy signatures to work with. We have a whole stack of paper and bits and pieces that we can use. I also have 2 additional Winnie the Pooh books that I got it for the purpose of being able to use the pieces and fussy cut them for characters and pockets and things like that. So we have those as well. I'm just going to put these off to the side. We did get 3 different Winnie the Pooh journal type kits, digitals. And the reason that we got so many was because, hello. Oh, look, he's here. The reason we bought so many, Harry, there's just not enough room for you in the book. Just no. Not enough room, sweetie. You're too fat. I know, it's my book's fault. My book is too fat. I know. I love you. Could you please get down? Could you? Would you please? Down, kitty? Harry, get down. Don't give me that look. Get down. Go on. Shoo. Come on. Down. I'll give you some treats. Come on. Hey, Steph. Sorry, I'm arguing with Harry right at the moment. Come on, get down. Here's your knee. Get down. Get down, kitty. Go on. There you go. Look at that. You made it to the ground safely. Okay, the reason that we bought 3 digitals is because none of them actually fit this version of Winnie the Pooh, which is the Disney version. So we have like vintage Winnie the Pooh. We have kind of the classic Winnie the Pooh. And then sort of the classic American version. So we have a few versions here that we're using. And that just helps to kind of, you know, create everything cohesively. So we are at the midpoint, which is this point right here. We've just finished the mid-page. We have a whole bunch of ephemera that we've put together. And we also have a bunch of pieces that we can yet to build with. We have some Post-it note pads that are Winnie the Pooh that I thought maybe we might be able to make a pad to put in here or something, a notepad. And then we have all of our bits and pieces that are like journal cards and tags and things. So good. I'm glad that you're on the road to recovery. Just, you know, even though they've cleared you, just don't push it, you know? That's still give yourself time when you need it. Hey, Gypsy. All right, so we're not adding really anything to these pages. Occasionally, like we did a little tuck over here. Where it is, there it is. We did a little tuck here, but it doesn't really interfere with the page. And we're kind of keeping it that way. So we're not really interfering with the story because I want the story intact. That's the whole point of using a little golden book, is that you keep the story. So yeah, well, don't. Only do 5. So we need to do a little something here. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do. But, okay, where's my fussy cut scissors? Here they are. Okay. Whew. Trying to get all this stuff done and get the channel updated and get ready to go on this trip with my granddaughter. You know what I've discovered? I'm old. I'm old and I'm worn out. Yesterday, I took 240 photos out in the heat. Oh my God, was it so hot yesterday. It's going to be hot today too. It was miserable yesterday. I don't think. I want to put this here because Piglet's right there, and I want to put that there. So I think I'm just going to put this on. It was hot, miserably hot yesterday. Hi, Christine. And I was just, wow, wiped out. And, you know, it doesn't seem like it would be that big of a deal, you know, taking pictures. But it took me probably about 15, 20 minutes just to set up the backdrops. So by the time I finished those, I was already wiped. And I was like, okay, go in the house, sit for 15, 20 minutes, cool off, get a bottle of water, drink a whole bottle of water. Now go pee because I just drank a whole bottle of water. And I'm old. So, you know, I had to do that. And then I went out to the garage and I got some bins to put stuff in after it because it's all in one big bin and I want to put it into smaller bins so that I can go through it. And so I went and got some smaller bins and brought those out and then set up the chair so I could sit down because I always make sure that when I take my photographs, it's like right here so that if I need to go above it, I don't have to like strain to do that. And yeah. So that was interesting. Hold on a second. Okay. Just the table fell over. It's a folding table. It just wind. So, I got all that sorted out, and then I'm going to use this little bottle of glue because it makes smaller dots. So I got all that sorted out and got it ready to go. Got my bins all set up, and then I came in and I started deciding what I was going to photograph. Come here. Thank you. So then I go back out there and I start taking pictures. And I wasn't out there but maybe 3 minutes when Mike decides he's going to take a break. And so he comes walking out the door, which is fantastic, except now I got to move because he can't get past me. So I have to stop what I'm doing and move myself, so get myself, situated in a more beneficial. I'm just going to pour some of these out because, wow, what a pain in the butt. So I'm trying to get myself into a better position. I finally ended up getting all the pictures taken, and it took me, about an hour and a half. Because if it's in a package, I have to open the package and take the picture. And then if it's got like stuff on the back of the package, I have to take the front and back of the package. And I got to tell you, I will take the front and back of a package, and then I will zoom in like on the part that says how many pieces are in there. And then inevitably, I will get a question from somebody going, how many pieces? Well, I don't know. Look at the freaking thing. It tells you right on it, But, I have to be nice, and so I have to answer them. And I'm like, exactly how many it says on the package. These are brand new. So there's, 56 of them in there, or whatever. Yeah. We play the game. What does that feel like? It's 2. No, it's only 1. Okay. I don't want glue on there. I was trying to move this one a little bit. Nope, that was glued down. Not going to happen. But, you have to be nice. And then Etsy does this thing where they are forever trying to get you to respond to requests and stuff. So that's fine, except when it's between two Etsy sellers, it's like that conversation is never friggin' ending. Because somebody reached out to you and sent you a message, so you have to respond to that message. Well, that message came from another Etsy seller, and now that Etsy seller, because they feel like they have to respond to you because you sent them a message saying, hey, yeah, cool. Usually it's like, and I know they start it and don't think about it. They go, like I'll buy a digital and somebody will be like, hey, thanks for buying my digital and here's a bonus coupon. You can use it, on anything that you want. Okay. At that point, this conversation should end. But no, because of the way that Etsy has it set up, if I don't respond and go, hey, thank you, then I haven't responded to a customer as far as they're concerned. So now we're playing the who gets to say the last word game. And this goes on. And it's just thank yous and appreciate it. And yeah, you're great. Ad infinitum. Well, we picked this one up, so this is the next one we're going to use, I guess. Need one more. We'll use a brown one. Right there. If I can get a little bit of glue out of the bottom. Here we go. Put this away. Which is great. If you're just buying stuff off of Etsy, it's okay because, you don't have to respond. If somebody sends you a message, but if you're a seller and you send a message, even if you're getting that sent to you as a buyer, they still count it as you didn't respond. It's just frustrating. Very frustrating. Okay. I'm good with this. We're not doing anything on this one, so we're going to go ahead and flip the page. We're not doing anything on this one. I didn't get that on straight, but I don't care. All right, this page, what are we going to do? I don't know. All right, let's start looking for a pocket. Okay. All right, let me see here. I think I kind of like this one. All right, let's see. So we're just going to cut across here, and then like right there. Okay, now we need something to back it on. Let's see. This will work. See, that could have worked too, but it's on the opposite side, and I don't want that. So we're going to do this one. Okay. Okay. So how's everybody's day going? It's Friday. Well, for most everybody, it's Friday. Not for me. I'm going to trim this at the bottom. And we'll ink this up a little bit. It's Friday. So 2 more days, and then I'm on the road. And I am not prepared. I don't know where we're going. I only know that it's the 2 of us. Off we're going to go. I'll be honest, she's one of my favorite travel companions. She doesn't give me too much crap. She's not a big eater. And for the most part, she just sits there with her earbuds in and listens to her music. Unless I ask her a question, and then she responds to it. So that's cool too. All right. I don't like that balloon. We got to figure that out. All right, we're going to put Kanga's house on here. Kanga, whatever her name was. Rue's mom. Oh. All right, now we need to figure out what we're putting in this pocket. We have, those are kind of small. So are those. Would like to put a tag in though. We have that. And one of those. Or we could do one of these. That's an awful big one. We could put our bookmark here, maybe. Let's take a look. Let's grab our bookmark from the front. Yeah, let's put our bookmark in there. So we got those. Okay, we're good. Moving on. All right, now what are we going to do on the back? Well, let's put a little washi. And tear that off. Turn this around. Get my icky stickies. Ugh, there we go. Okay. So I won't be here next week, so this is going to take like a week longer to finish. But that's simply because we're skipping, a week. All right, I'm going to use this piece. So we're going to put some glue on it. Okay, now what to do at the bottom? I want to do something. I don't know though. I think I'm going to leave it for writing. Just going to leave it. It's good writing space. I could put a Pooh Bear in the corner as a tuck. going to put it over on this side, but I need to back it. Oh, we went through this yesterday, didn't we? Let me get the circles out. Ugh. Okay. Circly, 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 circly. I need circles and cutting pads and cutting machines too. Okay. That's not big enough. Need a slightly bigger piece. I think we said this was 2.5. Well, it's 2.25, but we need 2.5 to make sure that we get, get it on there. Okay. Cutting plate. I have a brand new set of plates somewhere. I remember buying them. I put them in a drawer and said, this will be a safe place. Now I can't remember where they were. Okay. All right. Let's ink this one. So last night we were goofing around with some stuff. And we were messing around with this. Let me get this out of the way. Which is called Chalk Blender. And it doesn't have any smell to it or anything. And it's for chalks and soft pastels. And I don't remember where I got it, but I picked it up in probably in a bag. Who knows, right? And it's been sitting up there forever. And so I finally, yesterday, I said, after we did our therapy's topic, I said, let's go ahead and see, what this does. So we put it on a piece of paper. I did some soft pastels, and this is what it does to blend it. It's not oily in any way, but it really blends them out because this is water, and it wrinkles the page, and it doesn't really blend them. This doesn't wrinkle the page, and it blends it out really nice. So I was like, I got to figure out what this stuff is. So I spent like the better part of 2 hours last night trying to figure that out. And yeah, no, I did not get it figured out. And why? Because this person does not exist anymore. I don't think that they're in business anymore. So I went and did a little more research, and I think I have figured out what it is. But I'm going to get some and try it to see if it reacts the same way before I tell you guys what I think it is. Shoosh. Okay. Should we just put a little tag? Yeah. Okay. I'll just put a little tag in there. Now, let's see. God, what do I want to do on this page? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. We could. and have it kind of blend into that tree. Put a side pocket. Or this could be where we put that big tree. We could do it. Let's get out the big tree. No. I want to use the big tree, but the big tree is too big, I think. So what are we going to do here? I don't know. Wait, I have an idea. Where? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Those were the days. And were days. Goyles were Goyle and men's was men's. Yes, we could use a man like Herbert Hoover again. Oh. Okay, I don't think I have any in here. What I'm looking for. Hold on. I'll be right back. I know, but it needs. I'll be right back. Okay, it's just an idea. Kids' paper. Let's cut it down, ink it up, and see. I might have the idea in my head, but it might not translate to the paper. All right, so this is 7 by 5. So let's go about 6.5 maybe high. Put this the other way. By like 4 3/8. Let's round corners. or not. Yes, we could do this. Just put a, there we go. We'll just put a heavier piece of paper behind it. All right, so let's ink this. I kind of like it. I'm going to do it. All right, some glue. Not straight, because it, it wouldn't be straight. There we go. And then we're going to put that right there. Dots. I think raise it up a little bit. I like dots because it's an easy way to add dimension to a book without putting too much bulk in there. I could use just I have the regular tape, but I think it's a little too thick for what I'm, what I'm looking for here. All right, let's see. You know what I've decided? I decided that when I do a live, I ramble too much. Now we're going to glue that down. La 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 la. La 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 la. but only the top half. Yep. So we're going to make this into a giant journal card. It's going to slide under there. It's going to cover up this page, but it still gives us the writing space. So we're going to do this. So I'm going to ink this. We're going to glue this down, then we'll trim it out. So, did anybody read about the Menendez brothers? They're trying to, they had their sentence changed in, I think, like 2000 or something like that, 2010 something. Anyway, because they changed sentencing regulations for people under the age of 26. Basically, you couldn't sentence them to life in prison anymore. You had to give them the possibility of getting parole. So, there. What do you think? I like it. It's kind of a cool spread. I'm leaving this. I might put a small pocket here. So, because the court said that you had to take into account with younger people things like abuse, things like that, all the stuff that they're claiming. So, several years ago, a judge changed their sentence from life without possibility to 50 to, I think, 25 years to life or something like that, 30 years to life, whatever it is. Anyway, it opened it up for them to be able to apply for parole. Now, they have been trying to get a new trial for a while. Not very successfully, I might add. But they've been trying to get a new trial because the claim is abuse, that they were abused at the hands of their father, and that is what led them to commit murder. I don't know that I buy it, but, that's not up to me. But I guess the younger brother had his parole hearing and they denied him. And now they're waiting for, I think his name is Governor Newsom. Yeah, Michelle calls him Gruesome Newsom. Anyway, he also has an application sitting in his office for clemency. It will not remove the sentence, but it would give them the ability to get out sooner. So this needs to come down a little bit. That. Yeah, that's better. Hi, Miss Mari. So, now apparently they had like almost all of their family members. That includes the siblings of their parents that testified for them to get out. Backing up the claims of abuse, you know, that these boys were abused, that people in the family knew it, but nobody spoke out. And I'll be honest, I thoroughly believe that, because he had money. He had a lot of money. And I think he used that as a weapon against his family, because not a lot of them had money. And so I think that, you know, he used it as a weapon. Like, it's my way or I cut you off, you know? And if that's the case, that would explain why a lot of them did not come forward at the time of the trial. But they're coming forward now saying, hey, you know, this is what happened, and this is the truth, and they're telling the truth, and so on and so forth. And if that's the case, then I can see that they didn't, you know. But there are other people who were part of the band. And for anybody who doesn't know, their father was like the driving force behind the band Menudo, which was huge in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, I think one of them does. With a lady here in Vegas. He got married in prison. It was the younger one, I think, was Lyle. Anyway, oh, we decided we're putting that in there. So let's ink this. So if in fact, you know, and there's kids that were, now they're not kids, they're adults now, but there's people that are coming forward that were part of that band on and off, you know, Ricky Martin and a whole bunch of other ones that came out of that group. And they're coming forward and saying, yeah, actually, he was a perv and he molested me. And I know that he molested my little brother. And like, I don't want to drag somebody's name through the mud, but if that is in fact the case, then there should be a case made for he may have been assaulting his own children. In which case, if he controlled the rest of the family with threats of money and power, then it stands to reason that his own sons would be afraid that if they crossed him, that there would be repercussions. And if that is in fact the case, then yeah, I think that it does deserve to be looked at again. Because now those family members are stepping up and coming forward and going, wait a minute. So I've been kind of loosely following what's going on with it, because I can see where, you know, somebody who's abused in that way could strike out against their abuser. You know, it's your parents' job to do that. Certainly was my mom's job. My dad, not so much. He didn't believe me. Although years later he did find out it was true, and he never, you know, never came back and said, hey, I'm sorry. But that's not here nor there. I have daddy issues. Shush. But I think that if this is true and this really happened to them, and it looks like it may have, that they deserve a chance. Yeah, the first one was denied. His brother goes up tomorrow. The younger one got his, well, he did it yesterday, and they came down with the decision today. Yeah, they said that due to his record in prison, they don't feel that he's truly remorseful. That, and it's not even that. They're basically saying, you know, well, you've been a bad boy in prison, so we're not going to let you out. I'm sorry, at some point. If he's in prison and he shouldn't be in prison, then you shouldn't hold his prison behavior against him. Just saying. But yeah, I mean, the dad and mom's family are all 100% behind them. There's not a single member of that family that's like, no, they should stay there. They're like, let them out. And that kind of response from the siblings of the parents, the people that were killed, makes me question the validity of what they've said. And then having all of these other people come forward going, yeah, that crap happened. Well, yeah, it may not have been self-defense in the traditional, in the moment, but they may have felt it was their only option. Did they go on a spending spree? Of course they did, because that's what their father taught them. Their father taught them that money was, you know, to be played with like that. To be honest, I'm not really concerned one way or the other, because the truth is, their excuse was they were not going to let him out because they still felt that he maintained a threat to society. What society? Is he just going to come out and go, oh, that guy made me mad, blow him away? I don't think so. I think some of this is just him and Han, and they just don't want to, you know, one side doesn't want to tick off the other, so to speak. All right, I'm going to trim out this little dragonfly. Dragonfly. Because I want to put it here, because Rabbit says that there's a dragon fly in his garden. And so I want to put this on one of his pages. Either that one or that one. I think I'm going to put it right down here. I just don't feel it. Like, who is he really a threat to? Let's see. One of them was 18 and the other one was 20. And it's been at least 30 years. So one of them is 48 and the other one is 50. Okay. Now, they did have their own money aside from what was in the estate. The estate has pretty much gone to the rest of the family. But they've set up funds for the brothers. Plus, they had their own money going into it. That was separate. It was like, college funds and stuff like that. That was never used for college. So they get to keep, they get to keep that money. They didn't benefit from that money. Didn't come from benefiting from the death of their parents. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, so they're not like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. We're going to take that off because I don't like it. We're going to fix it. That is hideous and I don't like it. Get rid of it. Too wide. Use this one. Is that long enough? It is just long enough. So, I mean, they have, it's not a lot of money, but it's been sitting there for 30 years in an account. So they do have some of their own money as far as being able to support themselves. Plus, the family has said that they would take them in. The family still owns that house too, by the way. It's now they're making a tourist attraction out of it. But, the family has already said that they would support them coming out of prison and, help them get more acclimated to the life outside. So I inked some of these that I thought I would want to use so that the ink would be totally dry. So it doesn't rub off. Because the ink on these Tim Holtz inks, they rub off, unless you really let them dry. So I went over that and let it, so it didn't come off as easy. So they have met every requirement. They have a place to live. They have a means of supporting themselves. They have family or community support. They've literally met all of the requirements. Both of them have attended classes while in prison and completed educations. They have done victim impact. I believe it's Eric who has been involved in offender impact and like welcoming, like not welcoming, that's not like the word, but he's part of the inmate group that talks to new inmates coming in, especially ones coming in to the penitentiary system for the very first time. So younger offenders that have not got jail time behind them, where they come in and they kind of, give them the reality of what it is and help them to understand what they're going to, the rules they have to play by inside the community that's there. Like, what do the guards expect? What can what kind of behaviors are acceptable? What kind of things can get you into major trouble? Now, what they brought up was like 15 years ago or 12 years ago. The one that was just on trial. Yeah, they're mentoring. The one that just did his thing. Apparently, he like 12 years ago, he had a cell phone. He got caught with a cell phone. And then he got caught with tobacco. But this is not like recent history. This is like literally they're using stuff against him that's 5, 6, 7 years, 10 years old. And to be honest with you, even if it's in the last couple of years, I don't think that has any bearing on how he's going to behave on the outside because the man wanted a cigarette, you know? Or because he wanted, you know, somebody gave him a phone and he managed to get it into the prison. He knew eventually he'd get caught with it. They all do. They know it. But they're willing to take that, especially if they're a lifer. Now, his world went from being a lifer, which is a totally different career, you know, prison career, than I have the possibility of a parole. So I don't think they can use that stuff. I don't think they should use that stuff against them. And I'm not advocating for them to be released. I'm just saying, I don't think that he's a danger to society. He's 30 years older. He really knows no other life other than in prison. But he has all of the things that they require for parole: a place to live, a way to support himself, some kind of community or family support. He has all of those things. And since he has all of those things, and he's done things while he's been a mentor, he's gotten an education, he's worked in, you know, some programs for different addictions and things like that. And he's talked about victim impact, and he's talked about the impact of crimes on the offenders as well. He's done all of the stuff. So reality, why are they keeping him? He's been resentenced. Technically, he should have been able to apply for parole 5 years ago because he got 25 to life with the possibility of parole, which means you can apply for parole at 25 years. They've already been in prison for a little over 30 years. I don't see what, and their meaning behind it, what they said was that they did not feel that he had been, that his behavior had been appropriate for somebody who's seeking release. I don't know. You have to ask Michelle because she watches all that stuff. I do the Cliff Notes, you know. All right, we're gonna cut this down a little bit. It's a bit much. What you doing, honey?
Huh?
What you doing?
Filling up a bone dry water dish.
Oh no. An indoor dish or an outdoor water?
Indoor.
Oh. We've decided that outdoor water is better for some whatever reason.
Because that's all there was.
Everybody's saying hi to you.
Morning.
Gotta do our thing. Can't skip a page. Got to do them all. Gotta throw the washi tape on the floor.
Keep going. You scared the dog.
Okay.
Oh, she's like, why are they falling?
I don't want the piece that says Daiso on it. Okay, there we go. Oh. I slept weird last night or something. I got like this knot right in the middle of my back between my shoulder blades. My back is kinky. Shush. All right, we need a pocket. Yeah, this is where we're going to do it. Where's my pencil? Here it is. And there. All right. Take this off. There. And there. And there. Okay. I'm going to double this just on regular paper, I think. Let's see. Okay, or this piece of parchment because it's scrap. Sure, just mute us. It's cool. We were talking about you though, so you know. Now she's going to go back and watch the video. What did they say about me? We said Steffi G was the nicest person. It was all Christine. Christine was doing it. Now Christine's going, what the hell did I do? Shush. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to trim this out. Grab my trimmer. I'm not going to do that with scissors. Woman, you cannot cut a straight damn line. I know. What the hell do you think you're doing? I don't know. It's all Carla's fault because she's not here watching me, you know, making sure that I'm behaving myself. Okay. So now let's ink this puppy up. Here's my problem with this color. It clashes with everything. So we have to cover as much of the page as we can or leave it as blank as possible. Okay, I'm going to trim this just a little bit more because it's like right at the edge. I don't want it just at the edge. I want it just inside so that we're not getting stuff all over the place. Let's take a look at that. Much better. Look, if anybody ever tells you I'm a nice person, lies. Lies, I tell you. I am rude, crude, and socially unacceptable. I am the very definition of rude, crude, and socially unacceptable. We're going to do 2 of these, I think. So I'm going to set up 2 of these. Trust me, I am. I'm rude, crude, and socially unacceptable. Even my grandkids will tell you, like, they can't take me anywhere. They'd be like, no, you try to take her someplace out in public, and no, don't do it. Because grandma's bad. That's why I'm the only Bima in the world. I am. I went to the thing, grandparents' names, where they what, to help grandparents decide, what they want to be called by their grandkids. And so we went there, and apparently I am the only Bima on the planet. Although now, I've been Bima for almost 20 years. So at this point, there might be another one. Who knows? Somebody else might have gotten on the Bima train and went, wait a minute, that works. Oh my God. There's a meme out there with where you go into a department store and pick your grandma name. Oh, I was dying. Meemaw. Like, they had them all, and they were like trying to decide which one fit her best. It was awesome. I'm a Bima. There's no other way around it. I'm a Bima. Okay, 2 of those. Now, let's round corners. Ink. Okay. Let's put these in. Okay, I'm digging it. All right, we have 1, 2, 3. All right, we're almost done. We've done quite a few pages today. Oh my God. Dang, we did a lot. Holy crap-o, why didn't you guys stop me? What did we do? All right, so we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages today. That's a lot of work. All right. I'm going to call it quits for now. Because I got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'll get this stuff put away here in a second. Cleaned it up and organized it yesterday, and then I threw it all over the desk again today. So, you know, you guys get it. Put this up here. And let me tell you what's going on. To the few babies in grandma, but for Zola, yeah, abuela. Yeah, that's an important person. Okay. So, pencil. No art therapy next week. No craft with me. Mixed media is still up in the air, okay? But you get 2 videos next week. I'll be here for mixed media, craft with me tonight, mixed media tonight, and the game on Sunday. I'm leaving Monday morning. You're going to get a fussy cut scrapbook paper pocket. And then Wednesday, you're going to get a book page pocket. It's kind of a cute little one. And then hopefully I'll be back by Saturday. So here's the thing. We are currently in videos to the end of December. And I'm going to explain that. So starting in September, we're going to be doing the Monday mixed media mini morsels every other week. So I could have moved those videos to Tuesday. But the algorithm on YouTube looks for consistency. So it wants to see that I'm putting something up every single, at the same time every week. So I took the videos that should have been on Monday and I've wrapped them to the end of the schedule, which now puts us all the way through the end of December, going into the first 2 weeks of January of next year. So the first week of September, you're going to get a beginner's project. It's a junk mail project. Then you're going to get a bonus project on the first Wednesday. And then we're going to go into our regular schedule. That first full week, you're going to get your mixed media mini morsels. Then we'll have a tutorial, then your mixed media mini morsel, tutorial, mixed media tutorial, mixed media tutorial. You get the idea, right? These videos have all been recorded and they're post up. So they're ready to go. We're going to have to say goodbye to the planner. This is like the end of it. And I love this planner. We've had it for 2 years. Look at all the stuff we've done. I'm keeping this sucker, though, because it tells me everything. Like, everything that we've done. So I can go back and look. So we are all the way through the end of December, moving into January of next year. And I've just kind of moved things to the end of the schedule. But it eases up a little bit towards the end of the year here. It eases up a little bit on me as far as tutorials. I don't have to have a tutorial every week. I can do a tutorial and then do the mixed media and then do a tutorial and then do the mixed media. So it breaks it up for me so that I'm not, and there's still places like in September, there's still bonus videos, extra videos. In October, there's a whole series and extra videos. And I still have places that I can put extra videos into the schedule between now and December, which I will do. And I've thought long and hard about it. I am going to do the video on the alcohol ink sprays. and how we make those. And we're going to be using basically dried alcohol markers. But I'm going to do the video because people ask me all the time about them. So we're going to do the video. What else? And then we have a whole bunch of other, journals on the horizon. So since in Facebook, everybody pretty much, like by and large, we had for the mixed media mini morsels, it was like first Monday of every month or first and third Monday of every month. So everybody liked it. So first and third was kind of like the big thing. It was 71%. So I'm going to go ahead and, say that is where we're going to do that. Go here, go there. Delete. Yes. Go away. So that is out. Quarterly swap is out. Done. Let me see. So I'm going to go ahead and delete. Well, I'm going to unpin this one. So it'll still be here. It's just not going to be pinned to the top. Still looking for suggestions for the Dark Macabre. You still have time for the Projects of 25 challenge for this month, which is chalk, any kind of chalk and or cupcake papers. I'm also going to be taking down the birthday request, the birthday list, because I'm going to be putting that in files. And the list of pending videos has been updated as of yesterday. So lots of stuff going on, guys. Lots of changes, but we're going to get through it. It's going to be the new normal. Also, I'm thinking about changing art therapy to something entirely different. I don't know. It might just be, a hangout kind of thing. Also, don't forget, we have the annual New Year's Eve bash. I'm lining up guests for that and figuring out what the challenge is going to be this year, because, we always do a challenge, and I don't know what it's going to be, but we're going to come up with something. So all of that being said, I'm going to go ahead and scattle on out of here so I can spend 5 minutes with hubby before he starts work in 10 minutes. And, well, he's in the potty, so he's got to come out. That's 5 minutes. And he actually starts in 16 minutes. So by the time he finishes up in there and comes out, then we can spend like 5 minutes together before he has to go over there and log in. Y'all get it. So I will not be working on this book until a week from this coming Wednesday. So if you want to do this, are we allowed to post other art we have worked on? Absolutely, Steph. It's your group. It's your group, babe. Do it. I mean, other than don't put it in there and go, oh, I did this in so-and-so's, don't put in a competing something or other, but, put your stuff in. Absolutely, it's your group. This is the playlist for the Little Golden Book. If you want to do a Little Golden Book, there's a whole playlist that tells you how to get the staples out, how to get the signatures out, how to redo your spine, how to redo your signatures so that you can reuse them in the book and keep the book solid. So, that's all there to help you. And what else? I think that's it, guys. I have no idea what the craft with me is going to be this week, so I don't know what we're doing tonight. But, we'll just hang out. That's pretty much it. We're just going to hang out. I know what I can do. I have an idea. All right, so that's it. Listen, if you're new here and I haven't offended you yet, hit subscribe and give me a chance. It'll happen. I'm good at it. I hear this a lot. Also, if you want to support the channel, there's ways of doing that. You can join my Patreon. You can buy some digitals. You can get some free ones if you want them. They're free. What else? I am going to be putting some new free digitals in. And you know, you can send me a tip, or you can buy me a cup of coffee, which I don't drink, but you can do it. Also, you can find out what my schedule is. You can get an update version of that both here on the YouTube channel or over on my Facebook group. You can join the Facebook group if you want to. There's all kinds of stuff. Just click on the description box below where it says more. Click on that. It's going to drop down. It gives you a whole bunch of stuff that you can look at. And that's it. That's all I have. So until I see you again, stay hydrated, stay cool, stay well, my friends. I love you guys. Bye. Post to your heart's content, Steffi.